Hello. Woo.
Hello.
Okay, this is the JELLOAPOCALYPSE panel. If you guys are in the wrong place, feel free to get up and leave now.
You're
It
in the
won't
right
hurt our
place.
feelings. Yeah, all right. No, it's fine. Take a photo of his face. Okay, so just, I guess we'll introduce ourselves really quickly.
That is what people do.
Yeah.
I'm
well.
pLasterbrain.
And yeah, just one clap. That's all you get.
Yes.
And what do you do on our channel?
Well, I do some voicing, some writing, and sometimes the music, like the things you hear at the end.
All right. And I am Jello. I am the head animator, if you want to call it that.
There's only one.
There's only one. That doesn't make it any less head than a regular animator.
He's really important.
Yes, they're all. Everyone else is just like a stump on their neck, nothing else, and like a bone sticking out of it. I'm also mostly like the head writer for stuff and the editor for everything on our channel. So for those of you who don't know what we do, which like, does anyone just totally not? Because that's yeah. Like some people could just walk in. Why not? So we do a lot of stuff that mostly involves voice acting. The big thing on our channel is the Welcome To series, which is like welcome to Tumblr, Facebook. Yeah, see, yeah, some people know what that is. Excellent. Which is where we make fun of websites with, and they're presented as very backhanded, total lies how-to videos on how to do well on the website. So they're not real like how-tos. So
Wait, they're not?
No, they're not. People comment like, oh, I did this 2 years ago and it's still not working. I'm like, oh, there was no warranty.
Oh, I tried everything the fan fiction one said.
Oh. Yeah,
That explains a lot.
We used to do a dub of Cucumber Quest, which was a webcomic by GGGG. We do not anymore, though we do some other webcomic dubs.
Also about cucumbers.
Like only that. We did some awkward zombie stuff
Cucumber
recently.
videos only.
Yeah, we have a very vegetable-centric channel. Food only. JELLOAPOCALYPSE is actually a cooking show. And what? There's one other thing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Bacano, which it's totally pronounced like possible I pronounced that wrong because I try my best, but I'm not Italian. I have an abridged series that's very bad. And has anyone seen that out of curiosity? Because wow, that is 3 more than I was expecting. Okay. Thank you for being the minority on the channel.
It, I'm in it.
Yeah, that's true. Neither is Aram. Aram hasn't seen any episodes he's not in.
Excellent.
He hasn't made the effort. Yeah, so for those of you who know that, I'm pretty much all the male voices except Sugar Cube, and she's all the female voices except Rachel, I think. Which is like 40 characters in all.
And Sylvie.
And so, oh yeah, okay, Chula voices those. All right, so yeah, so welcome to not only the
Welcome to panel.
Welcome to, shut up. We promised not to do that. We, welcome to, this is not only our first panel here, this is our first panel ever. So thank you guys so much for coming out. And thanks to Youmacon so much for inviting and hosting us. That's super awesome. This is really exciting.
And thanks to you all for being here.
Woo! Yeah, self-confidence.
Reblog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so the main thing we do is the welcome to, so it's probably most appropriate to with our new one that we can premiere here. It's the Welcome to Kickstarter video. Could we play that? Okay, now it is done. I hope you enjoyed that shameless product placement there. Funny thing, that Kickstarter went up last night at midnight. It's already backed. Though which is nice. Like, I'm not like doing any of the producing. I'm just one of the characters. But it's been anyone who like does anyone here like do any amateur voice acting stuff just on the side? Yeah, and like I know some people do like voice acting. Yeah, that's awesome. You probably know how rare it is when you actually get, even if you get cast in a product, to actually have the producer of that product see it to completion. It's very rare. It's like a 1 in 20 shot.
Unless you are the producer.
Yes, that's the only actual workaround that we found at least. And they are super, super into it, which is like the girl Michaela, who is the main writer for that, did I think 50,000 words in a week to get the demo done just in time. But yeah, so I think it's like $10,000 more if you want to get the me as a villain route. So that's my plug for that, and also voice acting stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Was it good? The Kickstarter video? All right, good. That's all I wanted.
So, all right, let's Oh no, that's okay.
Thank you so much. That means a lot that you're willing to go out and find things to throw. Yeah, so that's the main thing we wanted to show. I'm glad you guys liked it. That took longer than I would have liked it to make, that video, just in general. And I'm probably going to get this question when we open it up to Q&A stuff, but for welcome tos, generally, not counting the writing process, because if I count the writing process, that video took a year to make, and if I don't count writing, like from script completion to, like, and getting the voices and all that stuff, so once the script's done, it's probably like 2 months of work of drawing, and I can get 20 seconds done a day if I work the entire day through drawing on it, so that's always fun to do. Yeah, so...
And I am also there.
You are. Yeah, you made the song at the end with the pulsating Jello that I hate syncing up to music on Sony Vegas. I don't have After Effects. Also, you have to render. Oh my gosh, someone is dressed as Steam. That's excellent.
Calm yourself, Joe. It's the Steam guy.
I'm getting really sweaty.
What should we talk about? Thanks for coming. That's the panel. So like, what do we do? What do like just in general you want to talk about?
Well, you know, how was your day?
It was good. I didn't sleep at all last night.
Me either.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. Thanks again for coming. So yeah, let's I was gonna say let's kickstart this off, which I'm so glad I caught myself.
It'll cost $10,000 to get to the first question.
Yeah, can we please? Yeah, can we get some like? Does anyone have any questions just to like get some conversation flowing? Because I feel like, oh yeah, there, Steam. I did, yeah. We were informed about that. I think it's just because printing stuff on schedules is like once you print it, it's very expensive to get it.
They tried doing it in
Vegas. They had some last-minute time swaps, which is why we went from 1 p.m. to 8. What was that? It wasn't on Google Drive. No, it was on the Fan Art Theater. There's like a separate schedule.
Well, we're glad you're here on accident.
Yeah, I'm glad you managed to find it though. That's good. Any other stuff? You.
Where do you see yourself in the channel 5 years from now?
Where do I see myself in the channel 5 years from now? Okay, honestly, so let me start by saying the reason I wanted to do Welcome to Webcomics is because I want to start a webcomic I've been working on that's going to be called Cornucopia sometime next year. And I want to keep doing some stuff, including I mentioned in the promo video for this panel that we were going to be doing an original animation, like the full way through the first time, like actually animated, which I'm working on. We have a preview of that, which hopefully that'll be interesting. We're probably going to play that at like the hour mark of the panel, just to give it like a second life halfway through it. I think, because I really want to get that series, at least one more episode of that, I think we're going to want to do, because it's probably not going to be episodic, but I don't know. You'll see when we get there. It's about one of our voice actors, basically, a fictionalized version of him, who Will, who did the creepypasta voice in Welcome to Fanfiction.net, and he has the radio voice. So you'll see more stuff from him. Where I want to be in 5 years, honestly, I'm kind of like running out of like there's a lot of big websites like people suggest Reddit and 4chan a lot, but there's nothing else I know like as well as I do. Not that I knew Tumblr. You and Shula wrote almost all of Welcome to Tumblr.
And he took blame for
which was
it.
very fun, getting flamed for being a cisgender male who hates Tumblr, and I had never used it ever. I just narrated it and animated it, basically. That was fun. Funny story about that. I think I mentioned this earlier, so sorry if I'm repeating the story for some people. The weekend we published that video, I was out of town, and I'm on free improv teams, and we were in a improv tournament in Indianapolis with one of my teams, and I published it on Friday night, and I was like, well, I gotta do stuff, so I put away all my computers and cut myself off from technology for the weekend. And I came home on Sunday, and I got online, and it's unusual for me to be off Skype for 2 days straight, and there was like that big reaction to it, and I got online, and you and some of our friends were like, oh, you're alive, like what happened? I was like, oh, what do you mean, what happened? And then we looked at all the feedback, and I did get some death threats. That was a fun time. That's something everyone should have on their bucket list, is get a death threat. It means you stood for something, even if it's mocking a social media website, which is...
It's really important.
That's a very big deal.
Yeah, so in 5 years I keep getting away from the question, sorry. I'd really like to keep doing some of the series like Welcome to and stuff. I'd probably want to hire an external animator because it's so much time and there's absolutely no way I'd be able to do a webcomic full time with like, I'd like to do at least 2 updates a week on that, and I'd like to start that like literally next year, like November next year. That would be really nice. Yeah, so I hope that answers it. Just same stuff, but not me animating. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that one. So the question was, because we make a few good videos, thank you, instead of a lot of shitty ones, can we just what's that all about, and can we live off the money from that? The answer is no. Unless you are literally getting millions of views
Well,
on...
I thought you were a millionaire.
Oh yes, so much money.
Why don't you make videos
So
every day?
I'm not legally allowed to tell you what I make from YouTube. The answer is enough for rent and nothing else. So I still need a job. I'm also still in college right now, in a graphic design major. So I need to do all that stuff. And fun note about, maybe not a fun note, but a note about doing we do now one Welcome to a year. It was 9 months since fanfiction.net. I'm not counting the Joe videos, as fun as those are to do. They're absolutely not. I did one this week, in maybe 24 hours of work, which was fun. Did you guys see that? That was yeah, okay, good. Some people saw that. Oh, those fears that Joe said were all actual fears of mine at some point in my life. And a bunch that I had to cut, because there were 75 minutes of me talking at pieces of paper. Yeah, sorry, I'm terrible at this. What was the question? Just,
you're living off of the
no, is the quick answer, no. And because we do one video a year, there's a lot of just do another video, idiot, or whatever. Every time we post something else, just an awkward zombie dub, which will take a week of people working together to make in our free time. And they'll be like, this isn't a welcome to, you ass. And have to deal with that. So that's always fun. I don't think a lot of people, until you really start doing stuff, you don't quite understand how much time it takes.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, even the shortest thing, the quickest thing to do is my Abridged series that I do even less than Welcome to. I now do that a little more than once a year, because that's my I have free time, I have time off in between videos, and I can make this for myself and no one else. And those take maybe 3 weeks of hard work to make. And Cucumber Quest was Cucumber Quest was 6-8 months. That was really hard, and also that was not enjoyable to make was the other thing. So that Welcome To's are also tedious, but at the end it's yeah, and at the end of Cucumber Quest it's well, we sound good. So sort of, not the old ones. We sound terrible. Oh, well, I'm glad we got you into it. That's good. The first ones were when we were super into Cucumber Quest, and I wish we had better equipment back then. But if you want, for anyone who's not seen Youmacon Abridged, if you want to see an experiment of quality over time, it's almost linear. It's incredible. Well, okay, no, it's exponential because it's crap. All right. Okay. Hey. So it's fun to see because the first 5 were made in 5 months, and then every other one was another year. So you can see voice acting quality over time, which is really nice.
Back then, we only used to record with cardboard boxes. We didn't have a microphone.
Oh yeah. Some of Aaron, who does he was the We call him Horrifying Ostrich Man, the narrator of Welcome to Fanfiction, who's like, that's like how he talks.
And Sugar Cube.
Ernie Sugar Cube, and what else does it? Aaron does so much. He's cabbage, he's cucumber. He's not cucumber. He's cabbage. That'd be amazing. He's cabbage, he's carrot, and cucumber quest. He's Marth in our awkward zombie dubs. He has very if there's any snooty character, it's almost always Aaron. And now I don't remember why I brought him up. Because back when we first started recording, his recording setup was it was like a headset mic that he taped to a table and a piece of tissue, and he sounded better than we did.
If you're looking to get into amateur voice acting though, I would recommend a Blue Snowball or Blue Yeti. Those are the really popular ones, and they're pretty cheap.
There's a video called How to Be an Online Voice Actor.
Welcome, Bob.
What is the guy's name who does it? If you search How to Be an Online Voice Actor, you'll find it. It's this really quick, almost welcome to-ish. Have you seen it? It's a really good video. It's like a guy talking very, very quickly, and it's written by an audio engineer, a voice actor, and a sound editor. When the first and third of those things are pretty similar, but they go through all the do's and don'ts, and it's here's where you should start. And then they also made a second video of once you've started, here's the tiers up you should go. So yeah, Blue Snowball is where we started.
I'm still there.
We're still there. You use my Rode NT1A mic for other stuff, and we still use Audacity. It's fun. It works. And Premiere is now on the Creative Cloud, and I can't get CS6, so it's going to be super expensive for the rest of forever if I buy it now. So Audacity forever, I guess. Any other questions?
Well, he is the head animator, and there's no other animators at all. It's just him, and
it's just, you saw, it's just fast PowerPoints.
Yeah, he's the head PowerPointer, and there's, along with me, 5, 6?
There's we have a core group, and we occasionally bring in other people. So there's who I consider the core of our group, but we are unofficially called either Bubble Dubs, Rub-a-Dub Dubs, or one of those, except we found someone else who used Scrub-a-Dubs with a Z, and we were you took our name we wanted, we might still take it because we're jerks if we spell it differently, because I really like that name. We'll see. I hope the person who has that name isn't here, if so, I'm sorry. But we might still steal it. So our main group is, it's me, Chula, she's the female narrator in Welcome to Tumblr. She's that. She's Almond in Cucumber Quest, and she has terrible luck. I think she's currently in the hospital for voice stuff. She has a fun life. Aaron, who I mentioned before, Will, who I mentioned before, and I think the 5 of us are the main people who usually are always around. Chris is around a lot. He doesn't voice Chris was the cop in this video. He's Officer 911. He's Splashmaster in Cucumber Quest. That's his biggest role.
He did the Avatar School Days.
Oh yeah, Avatar School Days. That was Chris. His internet handle is Amadeo Hark or Amadeo Bane in our older videos, which he changed because Dark Knight Rises came out, and that changed the meaning of the name. And we also we work with a few other people sometimes. We work with Saru, who used to be our voice of Cucumber. We're still in contact with her, but we haven't used her for anything recently. I think that's the core group, so it's
Keen Order sometimes.
Oh, Keen, Keen, who's Bacon. He's only Bacon, though.
He's only Bacon.
Maybe appropriately, he's only Bacon in Cucumber Quest.
He's Team Bacon.
I think that's our group. So it's 7 people, and it's mostly just voice actors. I think I do almost everything except composing, which is you, and writing sometimes.
I do the female.
You do. I can't do most of them.
Good job, pLasterbrain. Woo!
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, there. Homestuck ones. I can't see which troll you are, I'm sorry. Okay. When did we first get into voice acting and does Oxy thing really get the tough stands out? Oh, what is that?
I'm
yes.
so flattered.
Is it a pop tab? What is
It's
that?
an ice cream sandwich shaped like a cat.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's a Cookie Cat sticker from Steven Universe.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I watch Steven Universe.
I did.
Okay. So one of us appreciates
It looks like
it.
an
Thank
ice
you.
cream sandwich.
So when did, like, how do we start voice type? Like, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
How do
I'm
we start
distracted by your amazing gift. What was it?
How do we start voice
How do we
typing?
start? So when I was the easy question is basically with the Bacano Bridge was when I started actually like putting stuff out. When I started putting, you had The World Ends With You abridged.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody seen that? That would be incredible. No. Okay.
No, that was
That
actually
is
recording into cardboard.
That was amazing. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so
we did a lot of old videos.
we do have a lot of old videos. Don't look at them.
Don't look at them.
So
I did a lot of like pony voices.
you did, and then you stopped because people on
People
Team
are
Fortress 2
scary.
got way too creepy.
And then, thank you.
They like me.
And we also did some weird stuff like narrating Tumblr ask blogs.
Oh yeah, we had these are this old ass blog that was based on. Has anyone ever heard of the game Yumi Nikki? It's okay. Actually.
Oh, you guys really heard of it.
Yeah, okay, and do you know it's like fan game? Is that the term for it? .flow. It's like, all right, there's a few. So based on that, there is a weird shipping blog where everything is spelled once. It's down now. We're the only remnant of it, which what an honor. It's like two of the characters, and everything is spelled wrong, and it's all MS Paint art.
It's excellent shit.
It's hilarious. So that was like one of the other first things we did,
Yeah.
which is the Schmale voice, which.
Yeah, I was like this.
And I was like this. This is a voice I really want to use again.
It was so great.
Yeah, that was a fun thing. So that was like around the first stuff we did. As like I'm gonna get a microphone, I'm gonna put this on the YouTube. But
YouTube.
yeah, for the YouTubes. But like we've done theater for a really long time, and also I remember like if I was ever sick and home from school, I would like load up Paper Mario and play as far as I could and narrate every single line of dialogue.
Like a loser.
That's really good practice. If any of you guys are interested in like doing voice stuff or you want to practice a new voice, the best thing to do is load up a text-heavy video game, or better yet, a manga or a webcomic, and read through it as like one or two of the characters.
Better yet, if you have roommates or neighbors like in your dorm.
And
They'll
really
love it.
thin walls.
Really
That's
thin.
the best. That's the best recording.
Especially when you sound like this.
You want to
Everyone
hear
loves
you want to hear a fun story? So,
Okay.
And in my school, we go to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which is I'm surprised that gets applause. Woo. Oh, okay. So
Cool. Yeah, higher education.
yeah, with education. They used to have a recording booth, which they got rid of for no reason, to my immense annoyance. That was not soundproofed. Which, like, argue with soundproof, like, sound couldn't get in, it could get out, which is a thing I've never seen ever in my life other than this. And it was in a computer lab, so if this is like a top-down view, there's like the lab, and here's the door, and here's a second door, it's like a closet. And I'd go in there, and I would record stuff, because I wanted it to sound nice in my snowball, and I pretended I had any good equipment, because they had sound. Foam is super expensive, I don't know if you guys know that, it's like crazy expensive. And I would go in there, and this one time, my friend was doing a amnesia mod or something, and he wanted me to be a super crazy German doctor, which is my favorite kind of role play ever. And he had me, and like obviously I'm a doctor, so I'm making experiments, and there was a part where they escaped and ate me alive, and I had to scream, "Yes, yes, my children, come to me," whilst like laughing maniacally and being eaten. And I recorded that for 50 minutes. And then I came out, and there was a class there. And they were like, "You know we can hear you, right?" And I was like, "Nine." Yeah, you got another question? What was that?
A sample?
A sample?
Of your fine
the German voice? It's just Medic from TF2, basically.
It's been a long time since I've done a crazy German doctor. Yes?
I have to keep the mic away.
Yes, yes, my children, come to me.
So that's my all-time favorite character type to do. Does anyone, you guys cheered with webcomics, so hopefully you are like maybe in the circuit. Does anyone read Gunner Craig Court?
Yeah.
No? Or a few people. Coyote. Coyote is like my favorite thing to voice ever. He's like a trickster god, and everyone read Gunner Craig Court. It's the best webcomic. It's super good.
What about cucumber.
Sorry, Homestuck. It's more than that. Homestuck is my life. There was a period when I was into Homestuck. That period passed before the. Yeah. I tried to get you into it. You were not having it. I got out before the Alpha Kid, so I was gone a while ago. Yeah.
It's too late. That's not a costume.
Those are real horns. If you read Homestuck for a long enough sitting, you will like look up in a mirror and there will be candy corn horns coming out.
The longest fans have turned into Tavros and they're in a wheelchair.
You know what? Actually, that was the first thing I put on my YouTube channel. The only video I've ever deleted is a Tavros and Jasper Sprite audition for Homestuck.
Vriska.
You had a good Vriska.
And I did another one that was like a fake audition.
That you should talk about.
Everyone in the series, and it was just a long Ken Burns on John's pixelated face for like 10 minutes. Me going like, hello, this is my audition for Homestuck. I'm going to be Nepeta. Mother freak my brother.
And she read for Gamzee, which is just another character who swears a lot if you don't read the comic. And
my parents don't let me swear, so I'm going to change the words. Whoa!
It was a good time. Yeah, so that is the first thing.
I didn't get any roles, so I'm really upset.
You didn't get first thing? I thought you got something.
Okay. You know what? They wanted to cast me as Rose on one of those things that
you didn't audition for Rose.
No, I didn't.
Oh. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, there in the back.
Quick question for you, Jello, and a kind of long question for Patrick. Who's your favorite gem?
Who's my favorite gem? Actually, Steven, if you count him. I really like Steven. I think he's an excellent main character. It takes a lot for the main character to be so likable. Garnet is my favorite other gem because she has to be. But Peridot is growing on me, which that is not how you say that gem name. It's Perido, and it's Perido. But now a whole generation of kids is gonna call it Peridot, and that makes me sad. But did anyone ever watch Shaolin Showdown?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody did. You know Jack Spicer, the guy. I think Peridot is turning into him, and like she's just around and like a menace, but also kind of their friend. And if that happens, that show is going to be amazing. So that's my dream for Steven Universe.
Just what are some like inspirations for music?
Oh, I don't listen to music.
That's not a joke.
No, actually, I don't really listen to music. Though I guess Toho music a lot, Studio Ghibli soundtracks. I guess that was kind of what I grew up on, and my first like experience wanting to do like media work, like I guess for games, was I think playing the Toho fighter games. So that's just my aesthetic for everything. But vocal music, it's, I guess like kind of obscure artists. There's an artist on SoundCloud called Rainbow Chan that I really like. Coco Rosie, stuff like that. So you can make a call?
Yeah. The research process, there actually is one. The best research process was for Welcome to Facebook, which actually I made before I like got a big break, which I'm convinced, I don't remember who, that was back when, Thornberry was Duckface, who does, it's ongoing, he does Sergeant Frogabridged, if you've ever seen that. He's a good voice actor. I haven't talked to him since then, but he was a pretty cool guy. So the Welcome to Facebook process, that one was really interesting because to make a lot of those shots, I was like, I don't want to edit this in Photoshop and like make up all these posts. So I actually made the Duckface account. And
I was friends with it.
Yeah, and I asked as many friends as I could to friend me, and I just posted the absolute worst, crappiest things I could think of. And like my personal favorite from that was like, it was a quote from like, if you. That was yeah. I took some real ones from your friends. I hope they didn't notice.
They weren't my friends.
Yeah. It was like, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And that's a quote from Marilyn Monroe, but I attributed it to Marilyn Manson, and that was my that. And there's a moment in that video, welcome to Facebook is my least favorite, by the way. Second to welcome to Twitter, because they're both a little weirder. And there's a moment where it's like, well, like if you're a 90s kid, which was a fad I hated, and in the original, it was a shot of Hey Arnold, and it was like, everyone remembers this, and if you look in the bottom right, Duckface's comment on it is, oh my god, I love rocket power, which is one of my favorites. You can like, there's a lot of text hitting jokes in every welcome too. Like we have a TV tropes page, which is was on my bucket list. I'm super glad someone made that. And then you went in depth and were like pausing every frame. It's like, what else can I add to this?
Intense analysis, like your brilliant work.
She's writing her master's thesis on
My brother!
That's it. It's just my brother, period, and then like 100 blank pages. And there's one smiley face hidden on there.
It's an art thesis.
Yeah, the research process for a lot of them, that was the weirdest one. Welcome to Fan Fiction took the longest to write, because pLaster is an amazing shit poster. If for some reason you...
That's my other thesis.
It's, seriously, if you don't know what shit posting is, that's when you, I don't know, someone probably doesn't. So that's like when you ironically be as terrible as possible for the sake of a joke at something, whether it be a video or writing or artwork, and she's really good at it, and you pretty much wrote every fanfiction, except the line, his penis burrowed deep inside of me. We searched, okay, not only did you find that, you found that first. That was the first line we found of any fanfiction.
I was looking for Martha's reader, and I settled for Martha's Icon, and I regret that.
Yeah. That's a really good question. He asked, how do you assemble a core team and people you can work with for a really long period of time? Part of it's luck. So if you've ever done any work on Voice Acting Alliance or Casting Call Club or anything where you're looking for people to work with, I'm just gonna use voice acting as the example. It's pretty hard to find like-minded people who, so we got incredibly lucky with the Cucumber Quest group. We got like 6 really great people who have a huge range, and Keen, who is, I love Keen, but he's only bacon. He's only bacon.
Sometimes you need that on.
You do, and he's our mascot, Keen and Chula. So, what you're going to want to do, I think, I don't know why I'm saying it like I have any definite answer. First of all, you like start after you're working a while and you're doing projects, even if they're just your own. You should do your own first. That's basically like a portfolio for other people to be like, hey, I really like your stuff. I can see that we have like-minded things. Like
even like fan works.
Even fan works, like literally anything. Like you'd be surprised, like, and people will reach out to you if they like your stuff. Like even if you're really small time. Like I can't remember. Like people reached out to me before Welcome to YouTube got big, and my biggest video was like 7,000 views. It's nice. You learn to spot telltale signs of people who like are not good production buddies. Again, voice acting is the example. Anything that says like, oh, hey guys, I need an audition for these 2 characters. I also need a director and a writer. I just want the credit. Thanks.
There's an excellent Twitter account called like For Exposure. I love that. I spend like all day looking at that. It is exactly those kinds of things.
And for those of you who don't know, For Exposure is just real quotes from clients working with artists and hiring heavy quotes people and giving them like ridiculous just constraints, and it's just look it up.
And it's always no pay for the work.
Yeah, no pay for all the work. Yeah, you. Oh, Joel's Way is super nice. I haven't talked to them in a while. Emmy and Dalton are really nice.
Emmy and I exchanged Neopets advice.
Yeah, you guys bonded really hard over Neopets. It was a lot of fun recording that, so it might be the least fun to watch. It's definitely the most cringy of all the fan fictions, the Vocaloid one. That's really, really like over the top Japanese and
I like the purpley bento boxes.
That like the longer you watch that, the more wrong comes out. Like, oh man, Watashi's favorite. Is so they voiced, what is her name? Marissa, and then...
Marissa XD.
Marissa XD Tilde, and then Kaito. They voiced them respectively. And so Emmy, Jaltoid is an animator on YouTube, by the way. They're an animation duo. Dalton and Emmy. And Emmy is super into like anime and like nerdy culture. Dalton's a little more unfamiliar with it.
Dalton has no idea what
Yeah, okay, I was being generous. And he was very confused. He was like, why is this funny? And I was like, it's not, that's the trick. Be confident. Yeah, they're super nice. I'd like to work with them again. Oh, I just remembered I did a voice thing for them for like forever ago when they made me like a pink-haired guy in some video. What was that called? It was like a guide to being a YouTuber.
Like web success.
Yeah, it was about web success, and then I got to be a pink-haired guy with a big wiggly butt, and that's one of my favorite roles I've been. Right there. Is that everybody seeing? Where did the JELLOAPOCALYPSE name come from? That's a good question. So when I was a wee lad in like 2006, this is a really old username. I got lucky and made one I liked and I've stuck with it. So there was an animator who's like the first guy I ever found that was like, this internet thing seems swell. His name was Legendary Frog. Has anyone ever seen his stuff? Yeah, Legendary Frog. I don't think he does much anymore, but I used to love him and like, and I wanted to copy the, what's the word, like the intonation, or like how his name was said, like Legendary Frog, and I was like, what's another like multi-syllable, fairly memorable name? JELLOAPOCALYPSE, because I was like, what would be an interesting way for the world to end? Just meteors of large Jello was the first thing I thought of, because I was like a sophomore in high school or something.
Creative.
Yeah, very
liked
creative.
lime Jello for a while, and just limes in general.
Where does the name pLasterbrain come from?
Oh, it was actually, it's like, I was looking at SCP stuff, if you don't know what that is. It's kind of like this fictional horror wiki with all these different entries on how these fictional monsters are like contained and what they do and stuff. And I forget which, it's the one that has the game and you can't like blink or it comes and attacks you, but it's this big like concrete thing. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, it probably has like a pLasterbrain. And I was like, that would be a cute name. And then it was. And now I have many boyfriends.
It's true. I actually have a question for you. Where does you have like a girl you use as your internet like persona visual. She's like blonde and has glasses.
Oh.
Where does that come from?
Well, I drew it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's actually pretty late. It's like 8:45.
Oh gosh, wow.
Oh gosh, where's that title?
Oh gee, speaking of Minnesota,
Will is from Minnesota.
Will is from Minnesota, so I'm gonna introduce this next video real quick. So we have a buddy named Will, who I mentioned, he has a very deep radio voice and is a radio manager in Minnesota, and we got a message from him. He was the first person he was like the third guy who tried out for a cucumber quest dub, and it was like the first two were like, hey, this is gonna be cucumber, and like a super scratchy mic, and I was like, oh man, maybe we won't get a cast, and the third guy was like, hello, I'd like to be Nightmare Knight, demon voice. And I was like, oh my. And I was very inexperienced, so I was like, this is amazing. And we met him, I was super intimidated. He's like the sweetest, dorkiest guy. And his mother once, they were out shopping, who he calls me mum. They were, oh man, I hope you guys can pick up some Minnesota slang from this. I had to cut the offer cute line. Oh, that's cute in Minnesota, they say, for cute, which is my favorite slang. What are the two things? The meat raffle and testicle festivals are things they have, which, yeah, those sound worse than they are, but they're just like potlucks, basically. I don't remember what a testicle festival is.
This is a place called Minnesota, and it exists.
Yeah, Minnesota is a cartoon world, as far as I'm concerned. It's like Canada that like escaped. It's like Minnesota is to Canada as like Australia is to England. It just became its own thing and got way more interesting. So Will was out shopping with his mom once. He was telling us this story over a Skype call, and they went and he was like, "Oh, they saw this Stegosaurus piggy bank that was about yay big." And they're like, "That's really cute."
I thought he got it as a Christmas gift, which is even worse, or
which
better.
is weird, yeah. And his mom later bought it for him, and he calls it Dinosaur Piggy Bank. And somehow we created this character.
We found one too. They're at Target.
Oh, yeah, we own
They
one
still
now.
have one. They're like
in
$11.
an act of solidarity.
They're like this big. It's great.
And pLaster came up with a voice for this piggy bank.
It sounds like this.
And he's just the worst, most awful thing. Like, he's a terrible person. And we like toned him down for this animation. In general, like, he used to be like a flesh-eating monstrosity.
Who pooped ice cream.
And there's no way to elevator pitch this. I've mentioned to people, but you get this like piggy bank, and the joke is that Will is this nice, sort of motherly guy who has like somehow come into possession of a sentient evil piggy bank and now lives his life with it, and no one else thinks it's weird. They call it his dog. Like, no one, it's like Lilo and Stitch where it's like a blue monster and everyone's like, "Oh, you got a nice dog there." But it's like that, and he talks too. And like, I don't know why we did this, but it became a running gag that this is like what we decided. We were joking like, what if we actually made this into a thing? So that's what we're doing now. So here's a preview. This is the Dinosaur Piggy Bank video. Can you play that? It's the other one. And this is the first 2 out of 6 scenes. So this is the first third of it.
Storyboarded.
It's the storyboards.
Welcome back. You're listening to KOOK, the #1 radio station in St. Cloud, Minnesota, because beggars can't be choosers.
Hey, Will!
Still on air.
Will! I want to have a party!
Not now, Dinosaur Piggy Bank. I'm working.
Not here, dummy. At your house?
Sorry, Buckaroo. You know the rule. No parties. Every time we host a party, something breaks. That's why we don't host parties anymore.
Or because you have no friends? Hey, Will! This client says he wants his ad to be nothing but a baby crying for 30 seconds. Can we do that?
No, obviously we cannot do that. Hello?
Hello, Mr. William. You need to stay out of the house tonight. You've won $1 million. I am a real human businessman. Do my question.
DPB, I know it's you.
What? But I'm wearing a mustache.
Oof, we're way behind schedule. Devin, how are those radio spots coming along?
Man, I am on fire today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey everyone, I'm hosting a party at Will's stupid house.
No, you're not.
Here's your invitation. I drew them myself with a crayon Will dropped. Oh, cool.
Do not take those. Those are for learning purposes only. I'm teaching DPB to read and write.
I like eating them. What kind of party is it? Birthday party? Costume party? Costume party?
Oh, God.
I will go as a cool, rich babe magnet, and Will can be my butler.
Hey, did someone say party?
Okay, I'm calling it early.
A costume party. Yeah, I love it. Costumes only. No costume, no entry.
Well, I'm not sewing you a costume, so good luck finding one.
I've already got a costume. Kapow!
Where did you get that?
I made it myself. Also, your couch has a hole in it. Now I just need a cool biker name. Dino Bee. Deadly Bee.
Diaper Bee.
That sounds amazing!
Do you know what a diaper is?
It has the word die in it, so I'm guessing it's some kind of dragon?
Are you coming?
Diaper Bee rides alone. Later, Squeeb.
And then the next shot is him in a car seat without his leather jacket on, because he rides a baby seat around. So yeah, that's the type of thing we think is funny. We apologize. Yeah, so you voice Dinosaur Piggy Bank, obviously.
Yes, I do. Will voices Will. And he's a loser.
It's true. I voice Devin. And
Which is someone we made up to encapsulate the shittiness of everyone.
It is,
Will's
you would
panel.
not believe Will. So he's a nice guy. He like I say that like I'm gonna like slam him or something. He's a really nice guy, but he like people at his work get his goat all the time. He'll come in on Skype and be like, someone just like lit a thing on fire, and like all of our radio spots are missing, and like someone's been putting things in the wrong mailbox for the last 2 years. And it's like, Will, how do you work with these people? And he's like, it's not. No, I like my job. I'm like, you're lying. You don't. You clearly hate it. And every day we've made a list. We're starting to make a list of all the things, and Devin is like the combination of that. The secretary girl, Pepper is her name, is Tula also. And for that line of dialogue, hey Will, I told her to voice it like she's a cast member of the original Sailor Moon English dub, which, if you've never seen, search Sailor Moon Says as a channel on YouTube. It's like a compilation of out-of-context clips from the original Sailor Moon English dub. It is legitimately my favorite YouTube channel ever. It's the funniest thing.
Oh, man.
You love that channel? Your friend mods that channel? Oh my God. Tell him or her,
Send
not
him
sure.
kisses.
They are amazing. They are my favorite.
So we have like 7 minutes. Want to do like rapid fire questions?
Rapid fire questions. That sounds fun. You were the first hand I saw, then you back there.
Oh my God.
How do we feel about furries? I'm mostly indifferent.
I don't know what that means.
I'm a dinosaur that wears a diaper. Say again? My favorite YouTubers, Retsu Prey, Slow Beef and Diabetes, are my absolute favorite. I love those two.
I love JonTron. Can't get
That's great. I like Jack's films a lot.
Oh, it's so true.
And I'm sure there's more, but it's rapid fire, so I don't have time. You there, green. What? What do I do to unwind? I work most of the time, honestly. I like drinking tea and playing Fire Emblem.
I buy things compulsively from Steam.
You back there. I just have a couple of friends who think it was just like a train wreck how it was managed. So I was like, I don't know anything about it, so I threw it in there, totally unresearched. So clearly I'm good at my job. I am not selling anything. We do not have merchandise. I was thinking about maybe making those, to quote the video, this weird dildo-shaped object with googly eyes. I was thinking about making they're called schlobbles. I was thinking of making one, one's actually in Welcome to YouTube too. That's an old design. I was thinking about making either a shirt or plushies of those.
I'm selling souls.
Yellow.
Oh my gosh.
Not on purpose. We kept running into them. It was weird. Yeah.
They were everywhere. I made a GIF version from the 1972 Lorax cartoon where everyone is in the town with like Onceler banners. It's like, yay, the Onceler, and I just captioned it Tumblr.
My favorite part of that is every one of those like roulette wheel fake blogs, like things are getting wilder or whatever was the Gene Wilder shipping with Onceler thing. Those are all real now. People made those.
He's always shipped with himself.
It's true.
I've also seen a cannibal one.
Favorite fan fictions from the Welcome to?
Oh, the One Direction one.
One Direction, actually, looking at it, I don't know why. I think it's the bouncing. Kind of makes me a little nauseous. But I like the creepypasta. It's super spot on.
The creepypasta was like originally a story I'd written about Pokemon that was just like.
Yeah, we tweaked that. That one was the most made before it started, and Will totally made it. So your hand go up?
Huh?
Favorite fan fiction outside of my own video?
We can go to 9:30.
I'll take it. Yeah, sure.
I like those numbers.
We just got told we have till 9:30, so
So you're never leaving.
Even more rapid. Welcome to the rest of your life. Dun, dun, dun. So favorite fan fiction outside of our fan fiction video?
Oh.
I'm still a big fan of Your Math Mouth, I'm going to be honest.
I like
that
the
sounds
one we
like a
just...
weird sentence. She has a fan fiction for The World Ends With You about Sho Minamoto called Math Mouth. I like it.
We also did one called Sweaty Angle.
Sweaty Angle.
It was like 50 plus chapters shipping this awful main character with everyone in the Smash Bros roster.
So, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Bad fan fiction is the funniest thing ever. Sweaty angle. It's a corruption of like my sweet angel to my sweetie angel to my sweaty angle. That's where it came from. There's this like genre. It's mostly done with Smash Bros. It's like there's reader self-inserts, which I find super weird.
I love them.
And it'll be like, ask what character you want to see next. So it'll be like one character, and then people will be like, ship like. Insert name here is literally what it'll be in the fan fiction with Ike, and then they'll write that chapter. So we decided to challenge ourselves, alternating authorship of every single character in the Smash Brothers 4 roster with a horrible, horrible protagonist named Nickname, and it's basically an exercise in who can make the worst worlds.
And everyone has roommates, and she's roommates with Patu.
We've read that out loud several times with our friend.
Oh yes.
Patu is the best character. Though Little Mac's also pretty good. I'm a big fan of Little Mac.
He's a loser. But she's in love with Shulk, but he doesn't like her. It's really excellent.
What's that one Shulk? Like it's an annotation. The one Shulk line's like. Oh, actually, we can't say that. Never mind. Go read it. It's on fanfiction.net.
It's on my fanfiction.
It's on your fanfiction.net. Any other questions? There, back there. My favorite Sailor Scout? So out of the main ones, I like Jupiter the best. Out of all of them, absolutely Uranus. In her clips, she is always the funniest, like every single time. If she's in a clip, it's like 300 times funnier. It's incredible. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. So Uranus and Neptune are a couple in the original show. And because the dub came out in the 90s, society wasn't ready for that or whatever. So they censored it in the best way possible, which was to make them cousins. And which is weird when they walk up to each other and say things like, we have to do this. And they're like, leave it to me, cuz. And they'll like almost kiss, and it's excellent. They're really funny. Yeah, far left, you, yeah. I love Gravity Falls. It's my favorite show.
I wish I were Mabel Pines.
Top 5 anime, top 5 cartoons. Let's just each do some of ours.
Can I even name 5 animes?
I don't know.
I like Durarara.
Really? Okay. I'm rewatching that. I'm not a huge fan of Durarara just because I love Bacano, or Bacano, however it's pronounced, and I think it's much better.
But it's missing Izaya.
It is.
And by extension,
it's
Johnny Young Bosch.
Izaya, but it has Vino. Vino's voice, who I haven't made episode 9 yet. Who I haven't shown the episodes of Bacano Bridge with the Rail Tracer yet, but I'm very excited for his voice. It's a lot of fun to do. I finally get to be a slasher character again.
What about when you were Joe reading like the bunny character?
Oh, the bunny man.
That was really scary.
It was very frightening.
I had to call Officer 911.
All right, other favorite things. Favorite cartoons. Over the Garden Wall. I lied. Gravity Falls, second favorite. Over the Garden Wall, absolute favorite. I have a bunch of studio classes in my graphic design major. The whole thing is like 2 hours, 10 minutes. I just watch it on loop. It's my favorite thing. I love the original Teen Titans a lot. I wasn't a big fan of it when it was out, but I have to give props to Duck Dodgers for whatever the heck it was. Mostly it's Samurai Jack episode, and then also Samurai Jack would be my 5. And
I like Angelina Ballerina.
Why?
Kevius Sprout is great.
Random poll. Did anyone ever watch Crashbox when they were younger?
Oh my God!
All right, one.
Psycho
Awesome.
Man!
Crashbox is amazing. It's like a weird, it doesn't matter. But it's cool.
It's on demand though.
And anime, yeah.
Anime, I really like Ghost Hunt. I accidentally watched Chibi Vampire, which I really liked.
I woke up and it was already
I accidentally watched all 24 episodes.
You want to know my favorite Will moment ever?
No.
Thanks
for coming.
Will was like, guys, I just watched all of Jellyfish Princess, and we're like, okay, which is apparently really good, and I believe him. But he was like, I watched it I watched like one episode, and then I watched it in my bathtub, and I'm like, Will, where is your bottom?
I wish I were a jellyfish. And then you had a friend who's like a bigger, kind of gentler, giant guy, and you're like, "Do you watch Jellyfish Princess?" And he's like, "Yes, I did on accident."
Charlie. Yeah, I did on accident. Yeah.
And then we watched Equestria
Other anime
Girls.
I really like. This came out recently, and only Aram, Will, and I like it. Apparently, everyone else thinks it's terrible. When supernatural battles became commonplace, has anyone seen that? One person. I think that's really good. I think it's a great anime. Daily Lives of High School Boys, Ghost Stories. If you've never seen, does anyone know what Ghost Stories is? Ghost Stories is the best dub ever. They had this terrible episodic horror show, and they gave it to the American dubbers, and they're like, nobody liked this. Do what you want with it. And they wrote their own script, and it's like an official abridged series. It's really good. And
I like Higurashi.
Yeah,
It's horror
Higurashi.
I heard some muted squeaks in the audience.
I just watched. What is this called? It's by the guy who did Kaiba and
it the
Ping Pong
television?
anime. The Tatami Galaxy. Very good show. Okay. Any other rapid fire questions we were doing, or is that most of them? That looks like almost. Oh, is that one way back there in the middle?
No, never mind.
What was that? Toho cartoon? So, I have admittedly, I used to be very into Toho. I was
I'm
very
really
bad
into Toho.
at it. I don't think, I can't get back into it. I've tried a few times.
I still love it.
Yeah, I want
It's
to.
my favorite
I want
anime.
to really bad, and I like all the songs. Toho's my favorite anime.
What anime is this?
People get so angry if you comment that on, even if they're just like seriously like, what is this? I want to know. How dare you?
Or it'll be like an anime like adaptation of one of the
Oh.
games. What anime is this?
Speaking of bullet hells, new favorite game, Undertale. Not that it needs more press, but it's exactly as good as everybody on Tumblr
recommend
said.
it.
Your Tem voice is great.
That's a lot of muns.
Can Tem really?
Can Tim really accepts? Okay, Tim, go to college and make you proud.
Tem watch egg.
Watch Egg.
Yeah, right there. I have a papyrus voice I've been working on. There is a papyrus over there if you guys haven't seen him. And
Do you have spaghetti
is the
under your
Sans
hat?
cosplay around? I was. Oh, there it is.
Oh my god!
Do the light up eye. I really want to see it. This is an amazing. What was that? Oh, that's so good.
Oh my god!
That's amazing.
So we're now going to give the panel over to Sans and Papyrus. Thanks for coming.
Should you do your mouth trumpet for the Sans trombone?
Oh,
Can you do that? So I've seen
Alright,
Papyrus
so
done a
as a
lot
career.
as like Skeletor, yeah, because that's his laugh. I picture him more like dorky and a little more like a terrible game show host.
no, that's Metaton.
No, Metaton's an amazing game show host. How dare you, first of all. I picture something more like, Wowie, you didn't do a violence. What's the line that? Oh yeah. I have very high standards.
I can make spaghetti.
You're meeting all of my standards. Just like it's not a great voice, but I like Papyrus a lot. Any excuse to talk about Papyrus. Yeah, were there any others? Is there anyone like the back who's had a question? I see that one. Okay, cool. Not at all. I was thinking about that was gonna be like my spring and onward project
He's so
because
not
the
far
dinosaur.
into it. It went backwards and it started deleting the other welcome
It's
tos.
undone my other welcome tos. If you look for welcome to Twitter, it's
There's
not
just
there
a blank
anymore.
space on his channel.
So welcome to webcomics. I haven't done much work on it. Every video I do, I have like a little bit of it. Like I have ideas jotted down for future jokes forever. Like I even have welcome to 4chan jokes that I'm probably never gonna do. But like I'm excited for that one because it's going to be in the same vein as Welcome to Fanfiction, where it's going to be like maybe like 2 minutes of introduction and then just rapid fire all the types of webcomics and how to do them as wrong as possible.
I can do terrible sprite comics.
Oh yes, that's are Sprite comics still a thing?
I don't know. I remember seeing that it was like Teen Titan ones, and it was like.
I used to be very like webcomics used to be my jam, and now I don't like too many of them anymore, which is a shame.
I've never gotten into them.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, this Teen Titan one, it was like sprites, and I think there might have been like a wolf character or something in there, and it's just Cyborg's just like, can't wait to hit the shower.
Oh, so I know that one. Okay, yeah.
And it's like she's not pregnant.
I checked. That's not a real comic.
I don't know. I couldn't find.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Sonic. See.
How dare you confuse it for a wolf?
Oh my God! How dare you?
I'm so offended. Baby, you are beautiful.
So, yeah, my friend asked if I was going to do a Lost joke in Welcome to Webcomics. I'm going to try really hard not to. Yeah, because like I try really hard not to write down the joke that everyone would make. Just like if I did a Welcome to Reddit, I would try not to make a haha fedoras joke or like any of that. Just because that's like, I don't know, that's like the first thing I do.
And talk about that Neopets subreddit.
Have you...
I love
If you want to see a graphic design trip, go visit the Toontown subreddit. That's something.
No, that was April Fool's Day. It was just like
that was April. Oh, that's not how it always looked.
No.
We got embarrassingly into Toontown again over spring break. If you're ever tuning, my tune's name is Unsuspicious Horse Doctor, and he's a horse.
Doctor.
Yeah. Right there. My favorite. I have read all of My Immortal out loud. It's no contest. It was like, and I looked outside the window, and Snape and Lupin were masticating. There's no other, like nothing else is even a little bit as good. I don't know if you've ever read it. I actually like this one more. This one is a troll fiction, so this one is bad on purpose, but it's hard to tell. It's Light and Dark, The Adventures of Dark Yagami, which is a Death Note fan fiction. It's incredible. It's like, you have the Death Note? I have the Life Note. I have the Re-Alive Note. I have the Blood Note. I eat blood bananas. We have recorded, Aram, Will, and I reading all of Light and Dark. I don't think we're ever going to do anything with it.
He was eating bananas like Roy ate apples, but they were blood bananas made of blood.
Elle looked around his room. Watery was standing in a corner, just like he always did.
Hello, who is this? How did you get my number? Elle said, angry.
Comic book guy. Light came all over the bed from the back window of the room.
Cock from oh, that is some masterful sentence construction.
Sister, well, followed him upstairs.
You actually added a "the" there. It was just Light was crazy and punched table.
No, not table. My favorite character.
Flashback. A little bit later that day.
Elle wrote L. Lolliot in the what? Elle wrote L. Lolliot in the life note and jumped back to his feet. He looked mad and said, "Okay, that proved that you were because you killed me." Quickly, she unbuttoned Misa's bikini and it fell to the floor, leaving her topless. Pardon me, the sexy times were getting to my throat. Sayu then took her own underwear off, and she was naked underneath.
Oh my god.
Misa squeaked repeatedly squeaking like a metal detector as she gets closer and closer. Elle turned on the sirens of the helicopter and shouted, "What?" And shouted, "Come on with your hands up or I will shoot you!" There was no reply, and Light's dad, dressed as Watery, shoot out a window just to show he meant business and was not some crazy guy in a helicopter.
Oh, I'll have to use stealth instead, said Elle, and jumped in the broken window screaming.
I really
he's
love
super
him.
busy.
Was it Quarter Life 2? Full life consequences.
Quarter Life halfway to destruction and full life consequences like inspired me.
I'm poor.
Yeah. What time is it now? Really worried we're gonna go
Hello,
over time.
Officer 911. 908.
9:08. Okay, we got a little time left. Thank you. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Tabletop games. Will, Aram, Chula, Keen, and I play a D&D session together on Pathfinder, or on Roll20. We play Pathfinder. Other than that, no. I play a Tengu bard who, his name's Rook, and he sounds like this. And his gimmick is he has what we call his Visor of Disguiser, and he can tap it, and it magically transforms him into anything. If you're a Tengu, which is just a crow monster, basically, the rule is if you transform, your nose has to stay just as long. But we waived that for comedy, and so every adventure I have a different disguise, and the best one is one of our adventures. We had to sorry to talk about D&D, but one of our adventures. Boo, honestly.
And then everyone left.
It's true. I close my eyes and look up. That's not a wind sound effect. It's a little better.
Tumbleweed.
Yeah. And we had to infiltrate a mansion of a bunch of basically Team Rocket members and figure out what their plan was and stop them. And it was a fancy auction. So my character, and the disguise always has to be a rhyme or I rhyme of the name Rook. So mine was, I was Duke, D-O-O-K, and Duke Endicott, named after the character from Over the Garden Wall. And the voice is basically this, and just talking very drunkenly and being completely terrible at any form of stealth and being so strange that no one is suspicious of you. That is my MO. So, yep.
I've played some BattleCon, and I'm also writing the soundtrack for the online version. Yeah. So great.
That would be. I want to.
I sent some of their
the
resumes because they reached that stretch goal on the online.
Yeah, I mean. Oh yeah, BattleCon was in there. Did you see that? Yeah.
They have really successful Kickstarter.
It was on the bottom left, I think. It was like with Shovel Knight and some other stuff. Yeah. Any other things? I feel like it's pretty close to wrapping up. But if there's any last questions.
That guy.
Okay, so the Joe voice. The Joe voice is, I mentioned I'm on a bunch of improv teams. The Joe voice comes from one of my improv groups, Spicy Clamato at U of I. We're a short form team, like Whose Line Is It Anyway? We do games like that. We were doing a game, and my friend Paul was hosting a TV show in the game, and he kept going out to the audience and asking for help. And he would be like, can we get a question? But we were in rehearsal, so no one was there. And it was just me going, oh, hey, I have a question. What is it, Joe? Our one audience member. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? That's not a question, Joe. And then with a
I'm pretty sure that's the rule.
Okay, fine. And eventually he just became this reoccurring character.
And he had a girlfriend named Cynthia.
He had a girlfriend named Cynthia, whose voice is worse, who was played by Paul. So that, Paul's last year on Spicy Clamato, I think, was no, you know what? Actually, that was the year before. So as like a sort of send-off to his character in Welcome to Steam, I did
oh man, calm down, Joe. You have a girlfriend. Hey, Cynthia, we need to break up. Okay, she took that pretty well.
And her voice, I don't want to do into a microphone, because she couldn't be on stage alone. Joe could, she couldn't, because her gimmick was her voice is worse than his, and she sounds like this, you can barely understand it! And that was something. Here's something to talk about. So, for discovering new voices, I've been asked how you do that sometimes, and for like vocal differentiation practice, which is a skill I think is super important for voice work, and I kind of pride myself on after Bacano Bridge forced me to learn.
You can do a Joe and another
I can do a Joe, and that's it. I can do a Joe and narrator, and also the Wolf Girl, which is like female Joe. So, like in Bacano Bridge, for example, for all the none of you who watch it, there's 3 characters. There's a lot of characters who sound the same, because that show has like 60 characters in it, and it's a really fun challenge trying to voice all of them. And finding parts of your voice, like in your throat, that you can like use in new and exciting ways is really interesting. Like I was once reading new and exciting ways, like just like things will come out of your mouth that you never thought. Like it's
sometimes they come out your butt.
Don't tell anyone how I really do the Joe voice.
Because a new we
I'm
need the
drawing
shit
with my
posted.
feet in those videos.
I like once I found this voice that is like vaguely Morgan Freeman-ish, though not quite. Haven't done it in a while. It's something like down here. It sounds terrible now that I've compared it to Morgan Freeman.
That guy that's like, that is how the owl do.
Oh yeah, that is how the owl do. Oh, Zip Frank, that's him. Yeah, it was partially based on that, and partially based on like I was reading the Raven poem by Edgar Allan Poe for fun. I don't remember why, and I was like, what if Abraham Lincoln was reading this? Because this is what I do. Someone asked how I unwind. I guess this is the answer, and I was like, what voice would Abraham Lincoln have? Because I like went to look it up and was like, that won't be information I can find. So I was like, well, maybe he'd sound like this. This is just Morgan Freeman. Whoops. And like that's how you discover voices. And it's neat because even like really learning how to do slight different things in different parts of your mouth. So while I mentioned Meccano Abridged earlier, there's 3 characters who are really similar. I hate voicing them in scenes together. Dallas, has anyone actually seen the anime? If you haven't seen Meccano, do it. It's amazing. It's got a rough start and it's a little violent, but it totally pays off and it's only 12 eps. So Dallas, who's a total degenerate, and the voice I used to get into him is, hey, Dallas Genoa, what's it to ya? And then, you're Eve, you're my sister. We're terrible people and vaguely incestuous.
Not even vaguely.
It's
very
not vaguely.
racist.
Very
I
racist.
worship Santa.
Horrible people. And then there's Luck Gandor, and the voice I use for him is, this is Luck Gandor signing off like I'm on the radio. And then there's Vino, which is the same voice as those last 2, but I add more pauses and I have wide eyeballs.
Which you can see when you take a recording of it.
Oh yeah, obviously. If you look close
Your
enough,
voice
they're
has
just like
wide
there,
eyeballs.
slightly open. There's a slight opacity. So that's fun to do. Yeah.
So basically pretend to be Abraham Lincoln.
So pretend to be Abraham Lincoln. That's how you do voice
Sorry,
acting
girls,
stuff.
you can't do it.
You can still pretend. Oh, how did I find Youmacon? Youmacon found us, right there.
They found
prefer to
you,
be
I
called
just
Brandon or
showed up.
Newbie right now. Either way, excellent guy. Called us over Skype over like spring, I think, and you're like, "Hey, want to do this?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I want to do this." Yeah, it's a really cool opportunity. I'm super glad to be here, and this is
And
really
I was
neat.
also there.
Yeah, and I smuggled her in when no one was looking. We're collectively the same channel. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last questions before we wrap up? No.
Let's read Sweaty Angle.
One more? Yeah, I do improv stuff. So I've never done formal training. I did improv classes and shows in high school. I am on 2 teams and I coach a 3rd right now. So I do about 10 hours of improv a week and more than that if we have a show. Which is why I like doing the Joe videos, because that's basically just me sitting in front of paper talking about nothing for a long time.
That's how you unwind.
So I think that's about everything. So thank you guys for coming out. This has been a lot of fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! First JELLOAPOCALYPSE panel.
Yay!
Woo! And I guess that's the end.
We're still here.
We have nothing to finish.
Go away.